Welcome, Dixie State fans. From the CEC TV studios located on the campus of Dixie State University, it's time for a brand new season of Trailblazer Weekly. As always, I'm your host, Keric Seegmiller. We've got some fantastic things planned for the show this year, and it all starts today with our season previews. You hear from each of the fall sports coaches, and we'll sit down with men's soccer coach Johnny Broadhead to get an inside look at the 2017 squad. We'll wrap it up with a look inside the newly renovated baseball alumni clubhouse with comments from players and coaches. It's a loaded show today, so let's go. Trailblazer Weekly starts now. We start our season previews today on the football field. A year after logging its first winning season in the Division II era, the Trailblazers are tasked with repeating the feat in 2017. Head coach Shane McClure and his staff have been pushing the players to change their best and continue to improve each day. I had a chance to catch up with Coach McClure after the conclusion of a recent practice to get his take on the new year and the new squad.
How young we are, Keric, and how much room we need to grow, in a short amount of time. It seems like when you come into camp, we've got all these practices and things, but we're really young, both, high school freshmen coming in and transfers, in knowing and learning the scheme. So, it's been a lot of teaching, as it always is, but, again, the kids have been working hard. They've been diligent in their preparations, and that's all we can ask for them. We'll get better every single day. We had some things that we needed to work on, especially, we were great on third down last year, and we made that a point of emphasis a year ago, which it still is, because we believe that's the key to success. At the same time, though, we needed to create turnovers on defense. We needed to be more proficient on offense when we got into scoring positions. So those, from an offensive defensive perspective, those are the things that we were looking to improve on. Every team's different. I don't think you can compare 16 to 17 or 17 to 18 a year from now. It's just every team has its own vibe, its own, feel to it. So, to compare back to 16, I don't think you can. We've had, an influx of about 50 young men. And so, again, it's a different day, a different team, and that's fine.
Of course, Dixie State tabbed at number 4 in the RMAC preseason coaches poll this year. The Trailblazers open the season on Thursday at 5 p.m. at New Mexico Highlands. That one and all other games will have the results for you on DixieStateAthletics.com. To the trails now, and the men's and women's cross-country teams. Head coach Justin Decker and the Trailblazers are poised for a big year in 2017 as a talented freshman class will team up with a group of talented returners. I tagged along at a practice last week. Here's Coach Justin Decker's comments on the upcoming season.
These first couple meets, we're just out there just trying to get better every race and every practice. The key meets that we're focused on are the end of October for conference and then beginning of November for the region. So we're just here, have the next 2 months to work as hard as we can to get to where we want to be for those meets. But these first couple meets are going to be great. Learning experiences for a lot of our young runners running collegiate meets and just getting up to speed, getting ready for later in the season. So I have a really big group for the women that just gives us a lot of depth, and going to be a really strong team. We bring back most of our top runners from last year from the women's team, and then also add Skylar Story and Katie Brandon, who are 2 of our top runners 2 years ago and then sat out the cross-country season last year but had a good track season. And then adding to all the returners, have a really strong group of freshmen. They're already right up there in the mix, some of the leaders on the team. So it's a great group. Really excited for that group of women. And the men, it's a smaller group, but they're really good too. So several of our leaders from last team, like last year's team, Hunter Chamberlain, Ben Fish, Jonas Desta, Miguel Ramirez are back to lead the way, and a couple strong freshmen to join in with them as well. So both teams are looking really good, and we're really excited with how they're doing the first week and a half so far, and looking forward to the season.
Cross-country teams open the season on Saturday at the Northern Arizona George Kite Invitational in Flagstaff, Arizona. Should be a great year for Coach Decker and the cross-country teams. It's time for our first break. When we come back, we'll preview the volleyball and men's and women's soccer teams. There's a lot more still to come on Trailblazer Weekly. Don't go anywhere.
take the road less traveled. Run free, unwind, unravel. Someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Your daughter is having trouble learning French. Do you A, hire a tutor?
Bonjour.
B, enforce a French-only rule at home? Or C, watch some foreign films? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back inside Trailblazer Weekly. It's the first episode of the new year, and we're previewing each of the fall sports teams. A year after a third-place tie, the volleyball team looks to bounce back to the top of the Pac-West Conference and has high hopes of making its way back to the NCAA tournament in 2017. Here's what Coach Robin Felder had to say about this year's squad.
So far, we've just seen great chemistry. I mean, in the gym, out of the gym, the girls are just starting to click as a team. The bonding element, you know, we think we've got a good starting lineup now. You know, the girls that came into camp ready to go really shined. You can tell who'd played all summer, you can tell who'd ran and jumped all summer, and they're just looking great so far. So we're excited to kind of get some competition this weekend and see how we stack up against some of these really good teams and see where we need to get better. Yeah, I mean, they've set some goals. They've definitely set some high goals, which are awesome. I think for us as a coaching staff, we just want to see them get better. We're young. We're returning a couple girls. So I think we're setting realistic goals. We know what these girls can do. They're athletic. They have the chemistry now. So I don't feel like we're setting the bar too high. I feel like our expectations are high, but the girls have those same expectations as well. So it's fun that we're all, like I said, kind of working toward the same goals.
Of course, several things of note with the volleyball team. The Trailblazers picked third in the Pac-West coaches preseason poll, and Sid Brandon named the Pac-West preseason libero of the year. Something to watch out for there as the season starts. The volleyball team officially opens the season this week in Seaside, California, taking on Metro State Denver and Cal State Monterey Bay on Friday before matchups with Cal Poly Pomona and Northwest Nazarene on Saturday. To the soccer pitch and men's soccer now. The Trailblazers are flying high heading into the 2017 season after earning the program's first Pac-West title and NCAA tournament appearance in 2016. The success of the last 2 years has helped build a winning culture, and I had a chance to discuss just that with head coach Johnny Broadhead at a recent practice.
Camp's gone well. The boys are very motivated from last season, so they're using that as fuel to their fire. So very little has to be done in order to motivate these guys, so that's always nice. They've been working hard, rooting for each other. We're very deep, so lots of guys know that anyone could replace them. They're all on board with that, so it's nice to know we're only, we're not a few injuries away from not being as good as we could be. You know, we could take that and still stay and maintain our level. So there's a lot of excitement because they had a lot of fun last year, so they're ready to go right back at it, keep it going. I feel very lucky walking into a team where that culture has been created already, because that's a lot of tough work, and the boys did that before I got here. The previous coaches fantastic job of getting a team ready to go. But they enjoy it more. Recruiting goes better, now we get some interest from other players that want in because that culture is being created. It's very important to have that here.
Of course, you've probably heard the news. The men's soccer team tabbed to finish third, even though they won the Pac West last season. A little bit of extra motivation for the Trailblazers this season. Senior Brian Baugh picked as the Pac West preseason defender of the year. 4 other Trailblazers landing on the Pac West preseason team. The Trailblazers open the season this week in Salt Lake City, taking on Northwest Nazarene on Thursday and Montana State Billings on Saturday. We stay on the pitch now as we preview the women's soccer team. The Trailblazers have been just a few games out of the top spot in the Pac West each of the last few years, including a third-place tie in 2016. The 2017 squad looks to change that and make some noise in the team's final tour of the Pac West Conference. I chatted with head coach Casey Bingham about this year's team and the expectations for this season.
Camp's been great. I mean, we got started, we've got a great group, we've got lots of numbers, lots of young kids who can compete right away, so it's been a good start to camp. I think with us, we're really looking to expand on our attack, so we're really looking to add more numbers quickly into the attack and really put some pressure on some teams and really causing them some problems this year. Oh, absolutely. They talk about it from day one, and I think their goals are realistic. They talk about how they're going to get to those goals, so I think they're right on with their strengths, their weaknesses, but I think that it's a special group, and I think they're ready to go. Yeah, I think really no matter where we're at, I mean, no one knows what we've got so far, so I think we know what we've got, so I don't think if we were, first to last, I think these girls are set on their goals and don't really care what that rank is right now. Oh, absolutely. They want to leave a mark in the Pac West. I know seniors are really excited about this last season in the Pac West as well, so they're gonna come to play every game.
Trailblazer women's soccer with a lot to prove in 2017, tabbed to finish 5th in the preseason coaches poll. Darian Murdoch selected as the preseason player of the year. Dixie State opens the season this week with games versus Western State, Colorado on Thursday and Northwest Nazarene on Saturday. Both games will be played in Nampa, Idaho. It's time for another break. When we come back, we're joined in studio by men's soccer coach Johnny Broadhead to discuss his journey to Dixie State and to take a look at this year's team. We're back right after this timeout. Welcome back inside Trailblazer Weekly. Today we're pleased to welcome to the show for the very first time men's soccer head coach Johnny Broadhead. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Thanks, Keric. Appreciate it.
Kind of like a double dose of Coach Broadhead as you got to hear from you earlier and see those highlights from the practice earlier in the show. But we appreciate you being here. You know you've got practice coming up here in just a bit. Appreciate you taking time in a busy schedule to be here so we can help you and promote your program. And just excited to have you here, really. It's the first time we've had you here on set. And when that is the case, I'd like to just ask you, let's rewind the clock a little bit. Let's go back to earlier this year. Soccer season's finished up. Niall Ortiz helps finish off coaching the team, and then the search begins for a new men's soccer coach. First of all, what jumped out at you about the Dixie State job, and what led to you landing here in St. George?
Well, Utah's a special place. Dixie is a new program, and I've known it since the beginning. So Coach Ortiz, Coach Pittman, Coach Busen, Coach Ortiz again. I've known all of them, and great program. I've been an assistant, lucky with head coaches. They're very good, and feel like I'm ready to go. And Coach Booth and the administration liked me, and we moved forward, and here I am, and it's been everything's been great.
And pretty good situation to come into for a head coaching job, obviously just off of a Pac West title. A lot of good, talented guys coming back. How much does that play into the decision when you're kind of looking at the job too, saying, wow, we could have a really good team again right off the bat?
It's exciting. I mean, everybody wants to win, and the team is set up that way. But the other exciting part is the nerves and the undoubt that every team has going into a season, but then the expectation because you won. So it could be a program and a team situation where you're having to rebuild, and there's joys in that, but this is set up nice, so it's like not many coaches get to be in this spot, so I'll get experiences right out of the gate as a head coach that not everybody gets maybe ever in their career. So we all work hard, and I'll just take advantage as much as I can, and it's been a lot of fun.
Of course, now the routine is probably just old hat to you. You know, you got spring under your belt, got summer, and now the regular season looming, just days away. Let's not waste any more time. Let's talk about the team. We've got a lot of talented guys coming back. Let's just talk about some of those returners first. Obviously, you know, Brian Baugh coming back to lead defensively, the Medina brothers offensively. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the defense first, and that Brian Baugh-led defense, which was kind of the centerpiece of that team last year. How important will they be to the team this year?
Well, the team's great. I'd love to start in the back. You know, we could talk about Brian. You know, I'd also want to bring up my new assistant coach was the former goalkeeper, Brad Trella. So Brad played a big role last year, did very well, impacted the team very heavily, and I think that's followed over to our new goalkeepers that are there. Zach Nielsen, he's kind of had a nice spring and come in. He had some experience last fall. A couple other goalkeepers, AJ Eddy and Levi. So replacing Brad's leadership is one that kind of Brian worked with, and we're going to have to maintain. But the goalkeepers have done a good job. But yes, Brian, almost another assistant coach. You know what I mean? He's getting so much done for the team, above and beyond leadership, let alone on the field, but everywhere he bleeds through on the team, which is great. You know, we have a new left back with Scotty Robles, who has had a broken leg and recovering, and he's strong and healthy. We have, I mean, it could really take a long time to go through everybody we have, but from last year, you know, Angel Estrada on the back line as a freshman, Pac West first team, looks strong. He should probably play on the back line again, getting forward, defending well. So Brian, Angel, Gustavo, Scotty, Kenny Barejas, another sophomore that's come in next to Brian, and I could go on with more players. So we're very deep with newcomers, and Cody Oliver and Noah Hill, and I'll forget even a few more. So it's very competitive. They're all right there. So if we go into the midfield, some leadership right away. Alexi Beza played a lot of minutes last year. He's back. You know, I have a lot of years of relationship with Lexi, so we go way back. He's always impressed me. Done a great job. The guys love him. Dom D'Amato, kind of the spine of those of there. We've got, you know, Mitch Wilkinson, local kid, that's ready to play finally after all of his years, getting ready. And then plenty of wing play to get down the flanks. Another D'Amato brother, you know, Athir DeWood, and then goal scorers, Medina brothers, Christian Hall, a couple other players we could slide in there. John Deere Porta. There's a lot of confidence, so I feel like I can name a lot of guys. Everyone's playing confident, so it's hard to leave guys out. It's very difficult for me right now, and the team's done a good job of making my job hard.
I can say for one, as I've been able to be to a couple practices and then be out and chat with you at practice and chat with the guys, there's just a fun spirit about the practices. They're working hard but having fun while they're doing it. Obviously, that comes with winning, and that culture the last few years has been changed. 2 winning seasons in a row, and not just winning, but, you know, well above the 500 mark, competing for a title, winning a title. How much has that changed? Maybe how these guys are looking at this year, knowing that, hey, we can win, we expect to win.
There is that expectation, but when we talk about my expectation of them, you know, we all love winning, but I want them to appreciate the situations they've been in, because you're going to learn from losses or wins. So they have been fortunate in some games. They've been winning a lot. If they continue that, I have no problems. But they need to learn lessons so that they can continue. So if we lose, we're going to learn lessons. We're going to improve. And I think the expectation of them knowing mine, you know, improving, that's kept it fun. Takes a little bit of the pressure of wins and losses off, and performance is more focused. So the guys have responded well. I've been doing my thing, and I can't appreciate them more of how they've responded.
Of course, it all comes together now this week as you get to get out there on the field. You've had some scrimmages, but now you get to get out there for real. The games count, the scores are recorded, the stats are taken. Northwest Nazarene on Thursday, Montana State Billings on Saturday up in Salt Lake City. What do you expect out of those matches? What are you hoping to see? Maybe besides just, you know, a result and a win?
You know, I have some hard decisions to make. Who's going on the trip? Two warm, sunny games during the day, So, you know, we've trained during the day, so we're going to be familiar with that on some turf. But now that it starts, I expect to see a little more juice out of the guys, which is something that everyone will probably see those first few games. It may be a little sporadic, bunch of young guys flying all over the field. So if we can keep our emotions in check, take care of simple things, whoever's going to create kind of the less amount of mistakes early in the year in those games, capitalize on a few, that always plays a big role into it. But I want the guys, when it's all said and done, to be looking forward to the next weekend, ready to go. So I want them to smile, I want them to learn, I want them to appreciate each other a little bit more. You know, the 90 minutes on the field will be real special if we can do all that stuff, and we'll walk away either way learning and getting better. So we're excited to go and get it underway. But Nazarene and Billings are very good. So I think I saw records. Billings has beat us every time. I don't think we've beat Billings, but it's been very close matches at times. Nazarene you look at that, you don't want, you know, it's a new game every time, but there's a little history with some of the players and back and forth, and I'm new. So I expect to see, maybe hear a few stories on the van ride up to Salt Lake and how much they want to beat them. I'll enjoy hearing that to get the guys motivated. So any of that past stuff should just bring the game to life a little bit more. So whenever you have a rivalry like that, which it seems to develop, which I'd love to keep doing, we'll keep it going.
Well, Johnny, thanks for stopping by, spending some time with us. We've run out of time. We've got to take a break. But we just want to thank you for stopping by. Wish you the best of luck. We'll be paying very close attention this weekend and all throughout the season. Of course, the men's soccer team getting their season underway this week. Again, Northwest Nazarene on Thursday, Montana State Billings on Saturday. Those games up in Salt Lake City. We'll have the results for you as soon as we can on DixieStateAthletics.com. We've got to take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the newly renovated alumni clubhouse down at Brucehurst Field. The baseball team enjoying that new clubhouse. We'll also take a look at the upcoming schedule, tell you what's on the schedule this weekend in Trailblazer Athletics. Don't go anywhere. There's more Trailblazer Weekly right after this.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Your daughter is having trouble learning French. Do you A, hire a tutor?
Bonjour.
B, enforce a French-only rule at home? Or C, watch some foreign films? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Your daughter is having trouble learning French. Do you A, hire a tutor?
Bonjour.
B, enforce a French-only rule at home? Or C, watch some foreign films? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back to Trailblazer Weekly. Well, the first games of the season are still just a few days away, and in fact, baseball season is not for a few months still. But the baseball team just this last week got to celebrate some excitement before the season began. Work was recently finished on the renovated baseball alumni clubhouse, and we were there to catch the players' first reactions as they saw the improvements for the very first time.
It's awesome. It's very refreshing going. I played 3 years here already, and with the old locker room and coming to this, it's like a breath of fresh air, and it's really overwhelming. I think it's perfect for us. So.
It definitely adds to it. I think if anything, this is going to help us win even more. You know, because when players walk in here, they know that we're not just going to roll balls out and see what happens. That we're here to win, and we take this serious. This is a great facility, great team.
You know, we talk a lot about our gear and our uniform. I mean, I think that stuff's important. I think it's treating them like professionals and giving them the very best equipment, the very best gear. And now we have an amazing clubhouse to store that gear in. I think it certainly gives them a place that they're eager and excited to be every day. And the more they're here, the more they're not other places, and the more they're putting in time. And again, growing as a team, which is probably our biggest goal.
Certainly exciting time for Dixie State baseball. Big thanks to all the alumni that donated to help make that possible, hence the name, the Alumni Clubhouse down there at Bruce Hurst Field. It's looking good. The guys are ready for the 2017-2018 season now. It's been an exciting day. Before we close it out, I want to just give you a quick reminder. No on-screen graphics for the schedule today, not too crazy. Again, we've got football, men's and women's soccer, volleyball, and men's and women's cross country all in action this week, starting Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday. I invite you to head over to DixieStateAthletics.com and get specific times and locations and live video, live stat links for all of those games. Of course, we'll have the results for you on DixieStateAthletics.com as well. Again, it's been an exciting day as we've received the lowdown on each of the Dixie State fall sports programs. We'd like to wish each of the teams the best as they begin the 2017 season. It's been a great show today. We'll look forward to more Trailblazer Weekly next week right here on CEC TV and the Dixie State Athletics YouTube page. Thanks for watching. I'm Keric Seegmiller.